when my world shattered and I found myself homeless. The only thing that kept me moving forward was a desire to tell my story. To leave something behind if I didn't make it. I'm here though, but I still want you to know.
Anyway, so I end up going to the Carroll Justice Miller Center, and I find out that there was a court date and there was a trial. And, you know, before that, I did this in April 2017. In March 2017 was when I saved up $4,000, went to I thought it would be good to live next door, live close by work. Plus, if I got fired, there was many places to apply for, work at the theater. This was in the Arden arcade kind of area. And so when I was denied an application, so basically they were going to accept my dogs. If I was low, I think it was some kind of low income, whatever. It was a fixed rate. Basically, it was, around this, about a little bit less than what I had been paying at Riverside, which was $850 for a 2-bedroom. This was like a 1-bedroom studio or something like that. Everything was fine. I am like excited. I'm totally, completely elated, right? Because I'm like, yes. And come to find out, there's an eviction on my record. I'm thinking, an eviction? How the hell did I get an eviction? I know I got this unlawful. So here, during this whole process, because nobody knew what was going on, and I got so frustrated because I felt like I had to keep telling the story over and over and over and over again. And it just got people more confused. And the hardest thing is when you know what's happened and what's been said, but you don't have any tangible proof. it makes things very hard. So, I made some calls and because she denied me within like 45 minutes. That's how quick they were able to check. And I looked at the paperwork. What I did is I looked everything up that they were hitting. There was only one thing on there, which they said an eviction. I'm thinking an eviction. So quickly, I don't know how I came to it, because normally when I try and search on specific things like this for myself, I can't find anything. And got hooked up with Credit Karma, and so they gave me what was on there, and I downloaded everything, and because it showed that I had a $4,000 balance from Riverside Villas, or JCM Partners LLC, who owned Riverside Villas. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I go up there. I'm making calls, and it leads me to going up to the unlawful detainer section, which is right next to the small claims help office, where they help you file your paperwork and stuff like that, which I would have to use later. So I go and to the unlawful detainer, and he says, yeah, they had this trial, which I was not notified for. What I was sent in March, all this paperwork that they kept sending me, what I was sent in March was kind of a pre-trial or pre-court appearance registration, but there was nothing for me to call. There was nothing, there was no date. There was no time. It stated on this paperwork that they had to get a court date, a trial date in 30 days. So I'm like, why was I being sent this? It has no information on it whatsoever. So they sent it to me. And I'm just like, okay, I don't understand it, And I passed it by Tammy because Tammy's a smart aleck. So I was like, okay, so do you know what this is? She goes like, well, it doesn't say anything. It just says that somebody has to make a trial date. That's all it says. So I guess it was some type of proof of service, but there was still no trial date. So there was no information. So I kept that. Anyway, so that's all that I had. So when I went up to the unlawful detainer, they said, yes, there was a judgment against Sharice for this amount of money. So the judge didn't charge me anything but with an eviction. They had gone on my credit report and added what the judge told her that she had to pay. JCM Partners LLC. Onto my credit. Now the judge didn't give them that. That was not from the judge himself. That was them. So I end up going after them. So had to pick up where I left off. So they've charged me illegally because that's not what the judge's decision was. All I had was an eviction, and he gave me a copy of that. I don't know if he was supposed to or not, but he freely gave me a copy and he gave me a warning because I told him, I said, well, so in March, that was the other thing. There was tension between Tammy and I, and well, actually, there was tension between her with me and her roommate as well. I don't know. Her roommate was a dusk till dawn drinker. I think with breaks during work. But she'd get home, she'd drink. She'd wake up, literally at 3:00 in the morning. And what was weird about her is that, she one day was like, come here, like Tammy has, bipolar disorder, and, there's only certain things that I can talk to her about. And, but, she does have some issues, and I know that she wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for me, but I just want this to be between you and I. And, so because I can talk to you. So she would talk to me and tell me about her life. But Tammy was telling me about, her life. And Tammy knew as well that, they supported each other, and one more than the other. I didn't need to know that little tidbit, but it was just a kind of a weird thing that happened. And I'm living in their house, so I'm not trying to start any stuff. And, go ahead and listen. But so she's telling me that, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then on another occasion, she pulls me into her bedroom, and she's talking about something that's just off the wall, and I'm unsolicited. And, she's telling me about her boyfriends and exploits and abuse and rape and things of this nature. And I'm just like, I'm totally uncomfortable with it. And I don't remember what I said at all. All I know is I think I was probably talking about wanting to have somebody to talk to. During this whole time, I didn't have anybody to talk to, not a counselor, not a friend, just people that I had known in the neighborhood who, in the end, all of it just really seemed to not care didn't want to support me getting up, because it was said around there that I thought that I was better than everybody. because I kept to myself, because I had morals. And I didn't go around forcing people to see my views. I don't do that. So I didn't have anybody. And I think I expressed that when she was talking about her boyfriends and stuff. And I was just like, I'm not thinking about that. But I think I was talking about I would like to have basically somebody to talk to. And she makes the comment. She says, "Well, it sounds like you're lonely. It sounds like you want intimacy." And I am a very intimate person, when given the chance and the right environment and people. But I wasn't asking it from her anyway. And I still don't know how she came up with that. But again, I can't remember what I said to her in response to what she was telling me. And she says, "Well, if you ever want to, if you ever need something, I don't mind." She goes, "I'm not going to date you, but, I've been with a few women and, other stuff that I'm not going to mention." But, I was like, I just kind of laughed out of nervousness. I was totally uncomfortable. And I kind of laughed. And I laughed. I did laugh. I didn't I did. And I just stepped back and, I think I was literally backing out of the room and being like, "Okay, thank you. All right." And that upset her. That upset her really bad. Now, mind you, this is a teetotaler. So she's drinking 24/7 almost. Give or take 8-12 hours from work. But she'll make up for it. I do the same thing with cigarettes. But so that made her mad. It made her real mad. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And that caused tension between us. It got to this point where Prosperity didn't even want to be around her because her energy was just so nasty. She was, and a lot of times, people would take things out on Prosperity that because they knew that I loved her. Like Prosperity is my daughter, my spiritual daughter in dog form. And I have been uber protective of her. So anyway, dealing with that tension. And then I have this thing with the lift where I got tired of Tammy not, because she had still owed me for other rides that we had taken there to work and back. So she was getting a convenience, and I was getting a convenience by living there. But something just got into me, and one morning, I was just like, "No, either you pay now or you don't." And I don't know. I think it was just a collective, just feeling powerless, and this was like I feel like I'm being taken advantage of again. And I put my foot down. Probably shouldn't have done it that way, but in hindsight, but I did. And she was furious. Oh my God, she was fuming. And when we going to work was not working because I lost my mojo. I was right up there with her, who had been working there for God knows how long. And I had just started, and I was right up there with her, and they were trying to, we were getting bonuses. And I was getting bonuses. I was getting like 50, 60, bonuses. So dollar bonuses. And for a job I just did not like. And, she was there. She had this little clique of witches. I call them the witches of Eastwick. And they would talk about me and then look over at me and then snicker and, just childish shit. I'm already dealing with enough, And so dealing with that during that time, and then come to find out that they had put this charge on me. So, I didn't know what to do. But in March, I caught them throwing out my personal belongings.